Hey everyone, today we're going to talk all about the port of Bermuda right after this. Hi everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk all about the port of Bermuda. In our last video about Bermuda, which I'll link in the description, we did a full tour of the kind of Royal Naval Dockyard there. If you dock in Kings Wharf, you will get off there and there's a whole lot of things to do there. So if you're one of those people that wants to kind of experience a little bit of Bermuda, jump off the ship a little bit, wander around the port area, that's a pretty good port to do that. It's pretty expansive. You could do a lot of things. You can go see dolphins. You could do a rum cruise. You could do the Goslings cruise. There are a few restaurants right in the little dockyard area. There's the little mall there where you could buy souvenirs and stuff. So if you just wanted to get a little taste of Bermuda, you could certainly do that in the dockyard. We did a whole video of a walk around the entire dockyard there, so you could check that out. Today, I just want to talk about the schematics and the kind of behind the scenes of getting on and off the ship in Bermuda, different things that you could do. So it's going to really depend on when you get to Bermuda. If you get to Bermuda on the weekend, right now the ferry over to St. George, it doesn't run on the weekend. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you are there overnight or if you're there for 2 days, generally most cruises nowadays, if you're doing Bermuda, they do at least an overnight. But if you're there for a day or two, you do want to get to Hamilton and to St. George. You want to kind of see both areas. They're really beautiful. There are a ton of things to do in both locations. Not only by cruise ship tours, but you can look at other tours as well. So there is Resort for a Day, which is really popular. And then I always recommend to look on Viator a lot of times. So keep it reputable, right? Don't just book with a small independent company unless you've seen a ton of reviews. Remember, if you're running late or anything from your tour, the ship will not wait for you unless you're on a shore excursion from the ship. However, if you're there for a day or two or a few days and you're going to be out and about and you don't really have to get back to the ship quickly, you do have a little more time to explore some different options. You can do a resort for a day. You can do some really cool tours. You could hit St. George, walk around, see all the beautiful sights to see there. You can go to Hamilton. You can go shopping and do all the things there, experience the culture and the food. So I highly recommend looking into some alternative options for tours as well. You can really see a lot of different things in Bermuda. It's a very safe place, not only in the port, but all around. You know, just like anywhere else. If we live right outside of Philly, if you come to Philly, you have to be careful, right? There are areas where you need to mind your P's and Q's and just be as safe as possible. And there's other places that are super safe. So with going anywhere on a trip or at home, you have to kind of know your environment and be careful. So same applies with Bermuda. Getting on and off the ship in Bermuda is very easy. It's a docking port, which means that you just get off the gangway and you're in Bermuda. It's not as accessible as like Charleston, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, where you're off the ship and you're basically in the downtown area. You do have to like get a cab or take the ferry over to St. George, or kind of get outside of the little complex there of the port yard if you want to experience the culture. But again, you can just wander around the port there and do some stuff. You can go to restaurants, try some food, and kind of just give you a taste. Or if you have limited mobility and you don't really want to travel far, this is a good port to get off and do some fun things. The fort is right there, and there are restaurants and things in the fort. So when you get off the ship, usually there's going to be at least one other ship docked there. So depending on where you're at, there's either a ship in front of you or behind you. And then when you come out, you're both going to merge onto the same pathway. And from there, you can kind of jump on a cab. There's a little shuttle that runs around the port area. And like I said, there's a lot of things to do there. And then you can just jump in a taxi and get out into Hamilton. Once you get out into Hamilton, there are tons of great restaurants, shopping, linens, all kinds of great things that you can buy in Bermuda. So get out and experience culture. I always recommend that. It's one of the knocks people have on cruising sometimes is that you don't really get to experience the culture, right? It's basically just a floating ship, which I love, that takes you to these different places, but you have to hustle and get off. Bermuda sometimes is the outlier there because you're there for multiple days. On this past sailing, I was in Bermuda for 2 days. Did it rain both days? It did, but that's okay. So You can get out and explore and do more things. I highly recommend that. There are beautiful things to do everywhere. We are going back to Bermuda in August. When we do that, we're going to do an expansive review of Hamilton. So we're going to really dig into Hamilton. And then every time I say Hamilton, I want to sing. But anyway, so and then when the next time we're going to do St. George. So this is just a little primer. Getting on and off the ship, very easy. There's a little building there. You come through the building. You have to show your passport or your ID, and you have to show your ship ID, and then you get right back on the ship. Very, very simple. So that is like the little kind of primer guide to Bermuda. And then obviously, if you have any questions about Bermuda, feel free to comment below. If you have any comments, comment below. And then we're going back in the beginning of August. We'll do a full Hamilton tour, and then again in September, and we'll do St. George. So thanks for checking this out today. It's just a little guide to what you could do in Bermuda. And tomorrow we're going to talk all about Charleston. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.